Yes, I didn't have the kitzur with the Alter Rebbe's, but we were discussing yesterday what it says over here that Yeshem Mikiparsha Zacha Chayav L'Kreisa Midraisa Ve'en Kairen Ve'em Kotn L'Mafte. Now, usually he always brings over here what the Alter Rebbe passes, and I showed you that the Alter Rebbe said befeirish that it's Deraisa and you could call cotton, and he doesn't bring it over here. This is the kitzur with the.
He doesn't bring it?
Huh? What?
Why could you call it cotton if it's midoraisa?
I showed him that Rebbe Shulchan Kuf Pei Beis that he says over there that not only could you call cotton to mafter, where it's a part of the kriya of Moshe. Usually, the shvi finishes the seder, and the mafter repeats the last 3-4 psukim. So he said not only could you call cotton to that mafter, but even a mafter like from Rosh Chodesh or Dalit Pashiyas, you could also. He said even Pasha Zacha, which is the deraisa, you could also call cotton. And he says that the reason is because the cotton is not laini, he's not the Balkaida. There's a Balkaida, he's the Oilu Taira. He could be Oilu Taira.
The shad is on the brachas that he makes after.
No, the cotton can make a bracha.
The timing of the one who gets called up, they lay themselves.
What?
It's andere Sache.
Different thing.
It's talking about Bayas.
Okay, we're starting now. So that was what we went
The
yesterday.
reason why he doesn't bring it because the pill passing it doesn't. I think the Benhagim said you should not call a cotton. The Benhagim said you should not call a cotton. Some of their fire doesn't bring it.
So he should have written it.
I think that's it. I'm not sure. There's a new Shulchan Aruch that Kankitze that Raskin from England made.
Yeah.
He has a lot of stuff.
I didn't see it.
I didn't.
You can't kill a cotton because he's not going to daven Moshe.
Okay, so
That's what he solves over there.
now in Kuf Mem Aleph, he's starting the actual dinim about that have to do with Purim. Till now we learned about the Dalit Parshias. So he starts with the first sip. He starts Sif Aleph. Mishenichnas Oda Malbim B'Simcha. But when Oda comes in, this is the Gemara. It's the Gemara in Tainus. The Gemara says two things over there. The Gemara says that Mishenichnas Oda is Malbim B'Simcha, and it says also Mishenichnas Ov is Mamatim B'Simcha. What's the pshat? Malbim B'Simcha or Mamatim B'Simcha? The pshat doesn't say, because that means you have to have Simcha a whole year. Ivdu is Hashem B'Simcha, we say in davening. So therefore he said that Mishenichnas Oda is Malbim B'Simcha. In addition to the regular degree of Simcha, has to be a higher degree of Simcha. You know, and in many shuls, even in the Empire Steeple, they hang up a sign, a little sign with a picture, with a fish on it, and Mishenichnas Oda Malbim B'Simcha. So they say, what's the inyan of the fish? The inyan of the fish is because every month has a different mazel, and the mazel of Oda is mazel dogim. Why is the mazel of Oda a mazel dogim? There's a reason to it also. The reason is because it said Shteit Nesvarim that we have 12 Chodoshim a year, and the 12 Chodoshim are connected to Yud Bei Shvatim. And Oda is connected Yosef. And Yosef had a bracha of the Yid Guluroi V'Kerev Oretz. Rashi says, like Dogim. The Emes says, L'chayre, Yosef didn't have a bracha. If you look in the Chumash, state over there, that Yankiv wanted to give the children a bracha. First he asked Mihaim, and he said, Kochem No'alai V'avorachem, and then he said, Vayivorach es Yosef Vayema, Akim, Asher es Halcha Avos Lefonai, Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov, Yivorach es HaNa'orim. There's no bracha to Yosef. There's a bracha to Ephraim and Menashe. The Teresit, the Welt says that the greatest bracha to a parent is to have good children. So maybe the bracha to Yosef was, so that's a bracha to Yosef of the Yidku L'roi B'Kereb Ha'aretz. And that's why it's Mazel Dogim. And talking about Chodesh Adar, why do we have two others? Why do we make two Shvat? Okay, the truth is because you can say L'chayre because they have to have a yeshiva's bezin to decide if to add a month. It's when they get to Pesach. But many times they can already know in Shvat already if there's if Pesach is going to come out in Aviv in spring. So why they make two others? State that the two others is because it's Chodesh Adar. It's connected Yosef, and Yosef had ended up into two Shvatim, Ephraim and Menashe. There's no Shevet Yosef. There's either Shevet Ephraim or Shevet Menashe. That's why we make two others, because it's connected Yosef.
That means also they don't have Ayin Hara, because they have open eyes.
In Ochinami, yeah, that doesn't. Now,
They're covered.
so he says that.
They would be deciding it's going to be every year Elul time. Elul time.
It's doch verkehrt, so it's doch noch besser the kasha. So why did they make kissel two kissels? Because they wanted Dafka other, because they can make a Yosef, and Yosef is too short.
Why is Yosef Adar?
That I don't know.
Huh? It's not an order. It would be Binyamin would be Adar.
That I don't know. Okay. Now he says as a now being that Mishnit Masad is Mabim B'Simcha. So why we Mabim B'Simcha? Because it's a good month for the Jewish people. So he says, therefore, Yisrael sheyesh dinu dvarim in goy. If Yisrael is having a dispute with a goy, and he has to go to a court to resolve the dispute, is yish paid imoy b'chodesh zeh. So she used it in this chodesh. Why is it? Because they state that that's the mazel then is a good mazel. It says if a guy has a dispute with a yid, so he should try to push it off. Why should push it off? Because it's reya mazel. Because that month the mazel is not good. Because the chum wasn't that month. But in this month of Adar is because there was nisan for the yidden. They ask a kasha. The Gemara says ein mazel Yisrael. So if ein mazel Yisrael, so what's the difference? So they say, but even though, first of all, in the Indian for ein mazel Yisrael, means to say that a yid is not controlled by the mazel. I think that everyone said that a yid can go higher than his mazel. That durch tefillah, he could rise above his mazel. So there is a favorable mazel, and he can even go above and against the guy, because by the guy, Haman wasn't good for him this month. Amalek he lost out in this month. So if you put all that together, the yid against the guy, but maybe so it's better.
Shuma anti-tzavatash base.
Huh?
Shuma anti-tzavatash base.
The Rebbe said this. Okay, good. Okay. Now there is a minig amongst Eden, and the minig was also at one time popular in Lubavitch, but lately it changed a little bit. If you have to make a wedding, which month should you make the wedding in? So there are certain ones that were popular, and certain ones that were unpopular. The Marshal Adar was a month that was popular. Cheshvan, I think, was a shvacha month. But today they're making weddings in Cheshvan already also.
It's also the beginning of the month or the end of the month.
Certain months.
So the question is, Mishnit Masad Mabim B'Simcha, till when? Is it up till Purim, or is it even after Purim? So they say that in the Megillah state, V'achodesh asher nepach by miyagnu l'simcha. So the whole month is a month of simcha. And therefore, even though there's people that they have a minig, that they make a wedding before the 15th in the month, because they want it to be b'shas the Lavana, starts in the beginning of the month, and it peaks in the 15th of the month, and then it starts going down. So it's called Milah Havana. Milah Havana is by the 15th, so they make a wedding before the 15th. But in the month of Adar, they're not medayik in that, because the whole month is a month of Simcha. In fact, there's different opinions that this, till when it's considered Milah Havana. I saw there's a sefer called Ezra Mekudesh on Dinam of Chassan and everything, that he brings over there that till the 23rd of the month is considered Milah Havana, because it's not so much going down yet. Later, the last quarter of the month is when it goes down, but it's small and disappears. But till the 23rd is considered, they want to say even that you could be Mechadash. There's a question, what happens if you missed Kiddush Levana on the 5th? If you look on the Luach over here on the wall, by every month, it says, till when you could be Mechadash Levana. And the date that they give to when you could be Mechadash Levana is 15 days from the Moilad Levana. That's why by Rosh Chodesh, we announce the Moilad. Why do we announce the Moilad? Because in order that you should know till when you could be Mechadash Levana. But they say that you can be Mechadash even after. So some people, if they miss the 15th, what they do is they take out a Gemara Sanhedrin, and the whole tefillah that we say, the whole bracha over there, and the tefillah that we say by Kiddush is in the Gemara. So they go outside in the street with a Gemara, and they look in the Gemara, and they read from the Gemara as though they were reading from a Siddur. And some say you don't even need that because you could be Mechadash even to a later date. But, okay. Now we'll start over here, this next Sif Beis. B'mei Mordechai ve'Esther, Nikolu HaYehudim b'shloish she'asar l'chodesh Adar, Lamed al nafshom, u'inokem ha'ivayim. On the 13th of Adar, they sent out the letters to tell them that they should defend themselves. And they needed to ask the Eibishter that he shall Rachmanis and help them. And we find when the Yidden were in Muhammad, they fears Hashem, that the Eibishter should help them. V'gam Moshe Rabbeinu, and he brings a proof of it yet. We see in the Chumash in Parashat B'Shalach, when they had Muhammad with Amalek, state that b'yom shenilcham im Amalek, his honor Moshe fasted.
Not those in the war, only the people around them.
V'im kain, mistama gam oz b'mei Mordechai ve'Esther, his honor b'yom Yigimel B'Adar. So mistama, that's what they did also by Mordechai ve'Esther. And therefore, Kibbul Aleim Kol Yisrael, Yom Zeh, L'Tainis Sibur. Everyone accepted this as a Tainis Sibur. V'Nikra Tainis Esther, and the Tainis is called Tainis Esther. Kedei Rizkar Shabayre Yisborach Shmai Roye V'Shemeya Tfilas Kol Ish Be'ez Sarasai. Kasher His Anu, when they fast, the Eibishter listens. V'yoshev el Hashem b'chol uvavai, k'moi she'osa l'avosenu b'yomim hahem. So this sounds very simple what I'm reading over here, but there's a big problem with it. The problem with this is he's connecting this tinus, what the Yidden did in the B'mei Esther. B'mei Esther, when they fasted, it was Pesach. Mordechai, Esther said to Mordechai, Reich Knesset Kol Yehudim, B'tzaymu Olai Shreish Shomim, Gamani Ben Aroisai, Otzon Kain, and Shei Bayaver Mordechai. So there's two pshatim of Bayaver Mordechai in the Gemara. One pshat Bayaver Mordechai is that, like I once said already, that there was a city of Shushan Abira and a city of Shushan, and there was a river that went between them. And B'megah Bayaver Mordechai was a Shushan Abira, So he had to go tell the Jews in Shushan. He crossed over the river, and he came to tell the Jews. Another pshat in the Gemara is that he was over, that he made a tonus in Pesach, and that's why. And Haman was hung in Pesach, and that's why the Rebbe brings the Shulchan Aruch in the end of Hilchos Pesach that in the second day of Pesach you should eat something special to remember the ness of Haman being destroyed. So what does this Tanus got to do? This Tanus is called Tanus Esther, to remind you that Tanus, it doesn't seem to work out. So the Rebbe has a beautiful hezbollah, Gewaldik Achab. The Rebbe says as follows: the din is that soldiers who are going to war are not allowed to fast. They're not allowed to fast. Why they're not allowed to fast? Because you have to be strong in the war. And when you fast, you're weak. If that's the case, what did Haman want? Haman wanted Lahashman Lade is Kol Yehudim Mina Vadzokman Taf V'Noshim Yom Echad. He declared the war against each and every Jew. And each and every Jew was told to get up and to defend himself. But maybe that each and every Jew was unable to fast. Who was able to fast? There was one Jew that was able to fast. Which Jew was that? Esther. Because Esther was B'Shara Melech, and they're not going to touch Esther. But Melech, so when the whole Klal Yisrael went to war, and they did not fast, the only one that was after fasting to bet in the Eibishter, so the only one that was able to fast and to beg the Eibishter was Esther. That's why it's called Tainus Esther, because she was the only Jewish person that was able to fast.
Yeah, elderly and sick.
Huh?
Elderly and sick.
What?
Elderly and sick weren't able to fight.
I don't know.
Even if they can't fight, but they have to defend themselves.
Yeah, everyone had to defend themselves.
They were in danger. It's a scary